Welcome back, everybody. My name is All Fun and Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also make fun little videos here on YouTube. As always, you're more than welcome to join me in Discord, as I enjoy playing multiple games with people, and I don't play any really single-player games at all. So anytime I play a game like Don't Starve Together, Terraria, Minecraft, 7 Days to Die, or Stardew Valley, or any other game that I play on stream, you're more than welcome to join up. Okay, let's talk about early game items to eat. I'm going to focus specifically on one item only because I think it's probably the best item to actually eat early game in DST, as it's going to give you enough sustainability to travel around and eat it periodically if you are deciding to do so. Now, of course, there's other things to do, killing butterflies and such and such and such, as I showcase in other videos as well. But let's talk about carrots, shall we? Now, when it comes to carrots, carrots are one of those things where, unfortunately, you have to decide if you want to eat them or not, because there's not a lot in the world, but there also is a lot in the world too. So as traveling around in Don't Starve Together, you're going to find an abundance amount of carrots. Now, when they're stuck into the ground, they are not going to spoil, but as soon as you pluck them out, they are going to begin to spoil. You have essentially 4 days to decide if you want to eat them or not, and as Wartox, for example, it's probably not a good idea to eat them. But as any other character in Don't Starve Together, it's not a bad idea to eat it at all. And same goes for berries too. The reason why I choose carrots in this specific situation is because outside the world as Wartox, you're going to actually receive 12.5 hunger instead of 6.3, because Wartox is everything in halved. So let's go ahead and switch to a different character just to showcase. I really wanted to showcase Wartox for a few seconds just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect if you decided to spawn in as Wartox, because I'm finding more and more people playing as Wartox lately. And every time I open up a server, people always join in as Wartox and they get a little bit confused as to why their hunger is basically set in half for anything that they decide to eat. Okay. So here we go. There's no stats for carrots other than basically carrots from the inside mod. That's because there's nothing to worry about. It's not going to spoil. It's not going to go anywhere. As soon as I pluck it, here we go. 12.5 hunger, 1 HP, essentially from healing. And if we decide to cook it, it will give us 3 HP instead of just 1. But the thing to worry about inside the actual situation of this amazing veggie is that you have around 4 or 5 days, really, before this thing decides to actually spoil. Or go stale, I should say, which would reduce the hunger value. So essentially speaking, when you travel around, and 4 to 5 days in DST is actually quite a long time. If you've had your chance to actually get yourself some grass and some twigs, and you're able to make yourself a few things to walk around, having 12.5 hunger from 1 carrot is actually quite a lot. And as you travel around, you're going to find more and more and more. One of the things in Don't Starve Together is that people don't realize that carrots are actually renewable. Yes, they do come back. It's not that once they're gone forever, and same for flowers too. But let's not talk about flowers, as I already did in another video. Carrots will regenerate. It will take a little while, but essentially a full year in DST before they do, but they do reappear. So don't worry about them too much. It's one of those things in DST where I tell people all the time that it's nothing to really worry about unless they're all gone from your world, and everyone's essentially going to pick them anyway, so what does it really matter? And by that time, essentially, if you decide to actually take and pick all your carrots in your entire world, I'm hoping by that time you're actually having or living on another resource. Essentially speaking, carrots are only going to last you a certain amount of time, and then you're probably going to move on to things like stone fruit and all that other stuff. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves, as I said before. Okay, so I've already picked around 6 carrots. This is going to give me a lot of hunger. So as I travel around and I travel around and travel around, every time my hunger dips around less than, let's just say 12 hunger, I'm going to go ahead and top myself off to basically make sure that I'm almost back at the full. And every time that happens, I'm going to get right back up again every time by just eating a carrot. And before you know it, the 4 days are going to go by very fast. And yes, your carrots are probably not going to spoil in that amount of time, especially if you're consistently eating them. So in my opinion, carrots are the best early game things to eat. Now, some people might look at you and say, nah, that's completely wrong. You should make yourself some meatballs and all that other stuff. But I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, especially for those newcomers that are just getting into DST, that all they want to do is just travel around and get to know their world a little bit and know what to eat before they actually decide, to settle down in a base. So stick to carrots or stick to berries. Berries are a good resource too. The trouble with berries, though, is you don't really get the full value out of them just by eating them by themselves. You get more value out of cooking the berries, or actually, essentially turning them into some sort of a recipe. Whereas carrots are actually completely fine just by themselves. 12.5 hunger is a lot of hunger just for getting one single item eaten. And cooking the carrot makes no difference at all. Yes, taking the carrot and putting it into a crockpot dish will make a big difference and make it into something that's a little bit more sustainable, but I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about something that's going to get you through your world of Don't Starve Together as you're traveling around. And look, I've already spent a little bit of time talking and traveling around one biome, and I've only really eaten 2 carrots. Now, mind you, I'm going to find more and more carrots as I travel around, so don't really worry too much about doing this. And if somebody tells you stop eating the carrots, well, tell them, hey, look, it's my world. If I want to eat all the carrots in the world, it's my choice. But no, seriously, if you do want to eat all the carrots in your world, don't worry, they will regrow. It will take some time. It's not going to be very quick if that happens, but the chance of you eating every carrot in your entire world is pretty slim. So, my opinion? Eat the carrots. Have a fun time. Walk around. Enjoy. The resources are there for you to pluck them, and it gives you more than enough time to spend about 4 to 5 days to actually get yourself ready for where you actually want to base. Keep in mind, hounds will show up, but that's in another video. So thanks again for watching. Enjoy eating your carrots and get your little vitamins. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.